This is the news on NTA International. I am Lami Ali. And Courage Ogeriahi is the sign language interpreter. Let's take off with the headlines. President Tinubu signs a new minimum wage bill into law. FEC approves implementation. Both chambers of the National Assembly to hold emergency plenary this Wednesday to attend to issues of national importance as 20 civil society groups pull out of protest. Also the news, health system on brink of collapse as conflict in Sudan continues unabated. Now we begin with the minimum wage. President Bola Tinubu has signed the new national minimum wage bill into law. Briefing State House correspondents after the signing, the president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, commended the president, saying and Nigerian workers, saying the national minimum wage amendment is for the whole nation, the federal government, the states, the local government, private sector, and even for individual employers.
So I think this is a great day for the workers in the country. We are not only doubling the minimum wage, we have added something on top. Initially it was 30,000, now it is 70,000. Like I said, this is minimum. This is not maximum. Any employer that has a capacity can pay as much as you want, but no Nigerian worker will offer services and be paid anything less than 70,000 from today. That is the implication of this act. It applies all over the nation. And we're excited that this is happening at a time like this, through President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man who cares for the Nigerian workers. And you've seen what we are doing in the National Assembly. When he came, the entirety of the National Assembly moved and passed the bill in one day out of excitement. We felt that this was not something we could delay. So I think the workers are happy. So I want to use this opportunity to call on those who are attempting to foment trouble, that you have a right to protest. It's your fundamental right. It is there in the Constitution, but you don't have a right to destabilize the country. A right to protest should not be turned into a right to unleash violence.
This is just one more action from the president to show that he cares about the Nigerian people. In addition to signing the Northeast Development Commission Act, the Northwest Development Commission Act, the Southeast Development Commission Act, this has never happened in Nigeria. So I think this movement from 30 to 70 and reducing the negotiation years is clear demonstration of a commitment to redirect, refocus, and reposition Nigeria for greatness.
Now, the Federal Executive Council says the government has met most of the demands some Nigerians are making on the planned nationwide protest and appealed that the proposed protest be shelved. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris made the appeal after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jibrila reports that the minister highlighted some of the government's interventions to include supply of food items, launching of the students' loan scheme, among other measures to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians.
We have said repeatedly, this is a listening government. The president has listened to the voices of all those who are planning this protest. And the message is that there is no need for it. Indeed, the president is already protesting on their behalf by doing those things that they want government to do. For example, the effort that government is making in ensuring that food is being made available. In the last council meeting here at the briefing, we announced that a number of trucks, 20 precisely, have been given to the state governors for onward distribution to those who are actually in need of them. While you are thinking of protesting, government is appealing to you, first, to shelve it, because there's a great likelihood that this protest may be hijacked and may turn violent by unscrupulous elements, and Nigeria will not be good for it. Of course, we know that people are saying that there is no intention for violence in this, but our history has shown that there is the possibility that this protest can be hijacked and could turn violent.
This government is touching every nerve, is touching all the points, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So we believe that this is not bad governance. So the issue of protest against bad governance is actually, to me, it's not properly directed, because this is not bad governance. If issue of subsidy removal, if issue of student loan, if issue of student loan is something that has to do with bad governance, then I don't know what good governance is.
Minister of Information Mohammed Idris and that of Interior Olubunmi Tunjiojo speaking there on the interventions of government to improve the lives of Nigerians. Now, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, has appealed to the organizers of the planned nationwide protest to reconsider their decision and shelve the idea so that the fragile peace in the country would not be disrupted. In a statement, Barrow, who is also the first Deputy Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is making genuine efforts to address the country's challenges and therefore urged the promoters to give the government more time to implement lofty programs and policies captured in the Renewed Hope agenda for the socio-economic developments of the country. He said that since the government was inaugurated on May 29, 2023, it has diligently worked hard to restore the country's glory and return it to the path of progress and prosperity for the benefit of all. Senator Barrow drew the attention of the promoters of the protest of how what started as peaceful demonstrations in Syria, Yemen, Libya and Sudan turned bloody and took the countries backwards, calling for deep reflection and reconsidering the idea of a protest that risks being hijacked. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has interfaced with critical stakeholders on Abuja projects with a pledge to ensure governance of inclusivity in the territory. Onoze Yakubu reports that the stakeholder engagement is coming on the heels of the planned nationwide protests.
Traditional and religious leaders, area council chairmen, youths and women groups, as well as other critical stakeholders seated in this town hall meeting are here for one common reason: the planned nationwide protest. Speakers at the event, while appealing to the residents to not take part in the demonstration, solicit government's intervention in the area of youth engagement and empowerment that will enhance their well-being.
Consider the insecurity in our country and share your protest, as some unpatriotic citizens will hide under the protest to commit heinous crimes.
We can achieve peace, development, growth. All our problems cannot be solved through violence.
Don't let them use you to achieve their selfish political intention.
FCT, being the symbol of Nigeria, we say no to the national protest that is about to happen.
We also know that people can hijack this process, and then in the end, it is the people themselves that will suffer.
After listening passionately to the agitations of the stakeholders, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike assures of government's readiness to rekindle the hope of Nigerians, calling for change of mind on the planned protest.
Abuja has totally changed. Some people are even missing roads to their houses because of the drastic change in FCT. So why do we allow some people that are faceless to destroy what we have started?
I'm not saying that people should not protest, but not protest that is aimed
are destabilizing government. All of us suffered what happened in SARS, and we lost so many people, both the police, both our young men and the women. This place, we cannot afford to allow the capital city, where the international community is, to be where people will want to practice how to be violent. We will not allow that.
The resolution at the engagement meeting is that no to the planned nationwide demonstration because of its consequences. Onuze Yakubu, NTA News.
A coalition of 20 civil society groups has, after careful consideration and consultation with members, stakeholders and community leaders, it has decided not to engage in any form of protest. The coalition says it has strong feelings that the planned protest could be hijacked by foreign mercenaries or hoodlums and does not want a collapse of what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has built so far through hard work and resilience.
Coalition of 20 civil society organizations under the leadership of Carlos Community Development and Empowerment Initiative have decided not to engage in or endorse any form of protest at this time. This decision is grounded in our commitment to fostering constructive dialogue and seeking solutions through peaceful and collaborative means.
Anything can happen. And if you think about the foreign machinery, they can be employed and to destabilize this country. Nigeria is the only country we have. We cannot risk to lose Nigeria for anybody. We can still take our issues, our grievances to the government through other dialogue means. But going into this protest, it can. Solidarity forever.
Of the 20 civil society groups said they are committed to open engagements with decision makers in the forums that promote positive change and constructive problem-solving initiatives. The groups pledge their undying support to the present administration for it to succeed. The Senate is to reconvene on Wednesday, 31st July 2024, for an emergency plenary session. A statement from the clerk, Chinedu Akabweze, indicates that the directive to reconvene is at the instance of the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and urges all legislators in the Senate to be in attendance. Similarly, lawmakers in the House of Representatives have been recalled from their annual recess to hold a plenary session scheduled for Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. House spokesman Akirotimi says the emergency plenary session is at the instance of the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, who will engage young Nigerians in a town hall meeting at the National Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Mitai Ekman reports that it is a legislative practice for lawmakers to reconvene from recess to address pressing national issues. In a bid to meet up with the digitization deadline of 2025 as stipulated in the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan, the State House management is developing processes and changing workflows to improve the system. This is coming at the opening of the digitization training for political aides and staff of the State House, aimed at developing innovative solutions to boost the operational efficiency and capacity of the workforce. Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Hassan Hadeja, says this is part of the federal government's drive to go digital to support the socio-economic reforms and ensure security in the civil service.
To deliver on their purposes. And how do you do that? Take out most of the drudgery from the work. And that can only be done, I think, in a digital environment.
So I appeal to you to please pay attention. Put in your best. What you don't understand, ask. If you are confused, feel free to ask. If you have shortcoming, come back for extra lesson.
Leveraging digital technologies and tools to enhance governance processes and models is the primary objective of the Renewed Hope administration, aimed at facilitating digital opportunities across all sectors for national developments. You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you live from our studios in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. We now go for a short break. Do stay tuned for more reports. Thank you for staying. As a way of ensuring speedy dispensation of justice, the judiciary is embracing technological innovations in modernizing and reforming the administration of justice in Nigeria. The use of ICT will enhance legal research and improve the quality of the verdicts from the justice sector. Dele Atumbi of our judiciary desk reports.
One of the prayers of litigants and officers in the Temple of Justice is speedy adjudication on all matters, both in civil and criminal cases. Of a fact, quick dispensation of justice in the contemporary society is dependent on the deployment of information and communication technology, ICT. The integration of ICT in the realm of legal research is a necessity dictated by the demands of the dynamic and evolving society, thereby relieving judicial officers from the old rugged way involving the use of longhand in writing court proceedings and verdicts. With the advent of ICT, it behoves on legal researchers to adapt and harness the power of ICT to enhance their legal research capabilities. Leveraging of modern-day technology in court registries will improve case management and enhance the ability of the affected officers to organize and maintain court records more efficiently while ensuring a seamless flow of information.
At this point, I must reiterate the need not to view technology as a threat to the existing structure, but rather as a powerful ally in our pursuit of justice. Together, let us strive to build a legal system that is not only deeply rooted in our rich legal heritage, but one that is also tech-savvy and accessible to every citizen.
In spite of the technological innovations such as e-filing and e-recording of court processes and proceedings, it is widely acknowledged that many of our courts are yet aligned with the current trends and global best practice relating to development of ICT tools in justice delivery.
In the next few days, participants from across the country will be brainstorming on ways of enhancing effective justice delivery through ICT. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has flagged off the renewed Hope Agri-Empowerment Project in Loko, Nasarawa State. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abuja, says the initiative is designed to support internally displaced persons towards addressing poverty and malnutrition among them. 300 IDPs and farmers were provided with 150 hectares of farmland, inputs and cash to support farming activities. Abubakar Kyari says the project highlights the government's dedication to innovation and collaboration with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, aimed at alleviating social and economic challenges of IDPs. He said the initiative exemplifies President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, focusing on inclusivity and providing a beacon of hope for thousands of displaced Nigerians. Displaced persons in Plateau and Borno states will also benefit from the project. The pilot farms will cover 500 hectares, hoping to alleviate food supply challenges affecting internally displaced persons. At least 100 people were injured on Monday when a passenger train carrying more than 800 passengers collided with a truck at a railway crossing in southern Russia, officials said. The train was carrying around 800 passengers between the cities of Kazan and Adler when it collided with the truck at an unguarded crossing. The governor of the southern Volgograd region, Andrei Bocharov, said emergency rescue work is being carried out at the site of the train derailments. 9 carriages derailed, 7 of them overturned. Provisionally, more than 100 people have been injured. The Emergency Situations Ministry says about 30 people were hospitalized, including 15 children, and 22 ambulance crew were dispatched to the scene to treat the injured. The TASS news agency reported the country's investigative committee said it had launched a criminal probe into the incident. Russian Railways, the state-run operator, blames the driver of the truck for the incident. Now, as the conflict in Sudan continues unabated, the country's health system is on the brink of collapse. Hospitals and clinics are struggling to provide critical care and essential services to those in need amidst the ongoing violence. Comfort Fashion has more on that.
Due to prolonged clashes between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, which began in April 2023, reports say all health facilities in the West Kordofan have stopped working. The director of Sudan's National Center for Oncology Treatments, Dafala Omar Abu Idris, said Sudan has lost 5 radiotherapy devices that were in Khartoum and Gezira states.
The treatment was concentrated in Khartoum and Wad Madani, with 7 centers in the states. The state centers provided chemotherapy, while radiotherapy was available only in Khartoum and Madani. After the war broke out in Sudan, the Khartoum and Madani centers unfortunately went out of service, which wasn't the situation for cancer patients in the country. If there hadn't been some centers in the states, there would have been no treatment for cancer patients.
Abu Idris added that oncology centers in Sudan are now suffering from a shortage of cancer medicines, adding that they are facing a shortage of chemotherapy medicines because the war has impacted Sudan's budgets, leading to accumulated debt with companies that have stopped importing the medications. Fatima, a Sudanese patient with blood cancer at the oncology center in Port Sudan, also said the center was overwhelmed by patients and are already experiencing a great shortage of supplies. Fatima described her odyssey from the southern inland state of West Kordofan all the way up to the Red Sea city. The World Health Organization said in a report published on June 18 that nearly 15 million people in the country are estimated to need urgent life-saving healthcare services. Comfort Fashion, NTA News.
And from South Africa comes the report that the former president, Jacob Zuma, has been expelled from the African National Congress, the party he once led after campaigning for a rival party in the 29th May general election. The ANC's disciplinary committee found Jacob Zuma guilty of prejudicing the integrity of the party by joining Nkomtove Izwe and gave him 3 weeks to appeal against its ruling. Mr. Zuma, 82, was an ANC veteran but fell out with the party after he was forced to quit as president in 2018 over corruption scandals. He has always denied any wrongdoing, even though he served jail time. He had been suspended by ANC in January after creating the new political party, which now sits in opposition to the ANC-led government in Parliament. The ANC Disciplinary Committee held a virtual hearing which Mr. Zuma refused to attend, saying he wanted to be physically present. Now, the results of the Venezuelan election held yesterday has been released, with incumbent President Nicolas Maduro handed a fresh 6-year term in office. Kolo Mohammed reports that citizens received the results with deep depths of mixed feeling.
President Nicolas Maduro welcomed his new victory, accusing another country, which he did not specify, of carrying out massive hacking of the National Electoral Council's transmission system to prevent it from totalizing the official bulletin on election day. Security has been tightened in the capital Caracas. The National Police Force is deployed in the Bermond Almatera Square, a main location in Caracas where opposition supporters have staged anti-government protests over the past decade. On his part, the opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez and his supporters say he won the votes cast by 70%, so he should be announced as the winner and the new president of Venezuela. Citizens were seen crying and hugging each other as they listened to the announcement of the results in Bogota on the country's electoral council that President Nicolas Maduro has been re-elected for a third consecutive 6-year term. In deep tears, here in Bogota, citizens say there are no words to describe the powerlessness they feel in the face of a crooked government, a shameless government that has no basis to say it has won again. This means 6 more years of being here in this country of absence of hope. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And next is a check on Tuesday's weather forecast for Nigeria and some other parts of the globe. And that's the news on NTA International. We thank you for watching. I'm Lami Ali. Courage Ogeriahi has been the sign language interpreter. Do have a good evening.